This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 527 for the week of Monday, July 9th, 2018. My name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
My name is Steve.
And my name is Alex.
Hey everyone, we have a pretty good show for you guys here today, and we're going to start with our very special guest, translator for One Piece in Weekly Shonen Jump, Stephen Paul. How's it going, Stephen?
Yo! There you go. I'm here.
Now I don't have to put the sound effect in every time.
Yeah, just reuse that.
And we also have one of our writers and reporters and t-shirt makers, Jill Knight. How's it going, Jill?
Pretty good. It is 90 degrees out. Just getting that California weather report out of the way. I'm pretty sure everyone knows that we're melting over here.
So
yeah, you didn't ask how California is doing, Zach.
No, so it's relevant. I was going to transition into it, Steve. The California weather is relevant this week because you guys were at Anime Expo, and by you guys I mean Jill, Steve, Brian was there, Dennis, Kelly. Am I missing anyone else?
Kate did the puzzle hunt with us as well.
So do you guys want to talk about it?
What do you want to know?
What was the temperature?
It was like, it might have been a little bit cooler in downtown LA, but at least I know where I live, which is in San Fernando Valley, and it gets a lot hotter there. It was about 112 or 116 degrees Fahrenheit Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 108 at AX, is what I kept hearing.
Those are numbers.
So tell us about the puzzle hunt. I want to know about it.
Well...
for those listeners who don't know what the F you're talking about,
it's kind of like a scavenger hunt. There was a cell phone app, but apparently it was down, so we just did it on paper, like people of old used to do. We're given a map of the convention center, but I think the coolest part is they did a one-pieceified version of the convention center map. So it looks like an island in One Piece. It looks like a chart. It's pretty cool, and we had to figure out all these locations to go to. It's basically like the beginning of the Unlimited Adventure game for Wii, where they crash on an island and get separated, and we have to
collect a bunch of stuff.
Yes, like Frankie apparently was immobile, so it's almost like he was in a coma.
But he was conscious. They did specifically say he was immobile, could not move, but he could hear and see everything.
Why was I built to feel pain? So yeah, you had to kind of gather up the Straw Hats and save them. I know Luffy and Brook were thrown into jail, and basically what it is going to certain locations and then figuring out these some word puzzles, some maze puzzles. It's like playing Professor Layton but in real life. And yeah, if you do it, and if you successfully do it, you could get some cool little pieces of swag. And that last puzzle was difficult. I was super thankful we were in a big group, so there was people smarter than me, and they figured stuff out.
Yeah, we definitely gave a wrong answer at one point, and I don't know if technically we should have failed there, or if they just kind of gave us a pass. But yeah, there was
they had plenty of Sabo figures they wanted to get rid of. No, it was really cool. I think they've done something. I don't know if it's the same company. Did something previously with Dragon Ball Super last year. I remember there being a Dragon Ball Super kind of scavenger hunt puzzle thing last year, but it was cool. It was kind of cute how they put a little story to it. And yeah, we thought we got the last puzzle correct first, and then when it wasn't, I'm like, wow, I thought that was so cliche that it just had to be real. And it had to be the answer, but we figured it out, and it was fun. And I think the only way you could see some videos of it is on Viz's Instagram. It was on their AX Instagram story. You can see a few videos of us taking part, and that's all I could really say.
Yeah, did anything else happen at AX? Jill, maybe something of note happened to you?
Yeah. So Funimation had this big thing outside of the LA Live area called the Funimation Festival. where they had like tattoos that you get from different series, like not real tattoos, but little airbrush tattoos. They have a big climbing wall for Attack on Titan, an obstacle course for My Hero Academia, and then a huge backdrop of the Sunny and basically life-size cardboard cutouts of all of the Straw Hats. And they were just doing this thing where you take a picture there, you tag it with, I think it was One Piece AX on Twitter, and you get entered into their photo contest where you could win a treasure chest. And I won, which was awesome.
Woo!
And I kind of cried a little bit. Thank you. Yeah, so I went to Funimation and I got a big treasure chest, which actually comes with a fully like working iron padlock and everything, and keys.
Wow.
With One Piece collections, anime, I think 1 through 21. And then it came with an edition of Strong World, Film Gold, and Z. So,
and I pointed out on Twitter that it did not include Movie 8 or the Heart of Gold special, I think for probably a good reason.
No one wants Movie 8. Yeah, it's a good thing Jill's a local, or I can't imagine getting that through security at the airport.
Oh my God.
I carried it around for 3 hours in this heat. I wanted to die. We had already checked in our luggage. Like, there was nothing I could do about it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Jeez.
I carried around like 24 DVDs for 3 hours.
To be fair, 112 degrees is an ungodly temperature. That's pretty crazy.
Jill, I kind of want to hear how did people like the Big Mom cosplay this year?
Oh, great. I love cosplay Big Mom. I've done it for like 2 years now. It's so much fun just wandering around. And people are just like, oh, Mom. And they're like, hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. It's great. I have kids everywhere. I love
Ma.
Big Mom. Everyone just, she's kooky and everyone just likes her. It's great.
And like
that you ran across a girl who was doing Prospero. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah. In the middle of the dealer's hall too. We saw each other's eyes and just like both like made a little shriek at the same moment. It was great. Had good moments.
So I want to ask both of you this question. What was your favorite like One Piece cosplay that you saw that you really haven't seen anywhere else?
That's One Piece or in general?
One Piece.
Okay. I didn't even get to see it. I was just told about it by the cosplayer, and then I looked at his Instagram and immediately fell in love. Someone cosplayed King Stelly at AX, and and to me at this point that wins it. You know, you got to go for obscurity and for a character so loathed to just have the have the gall to dress up as King Stelly. That's pretty freaking awesome in my book.
Speaking of loathed, didn't he also do a Gangster Gastino?
Yes.
Oh man, cool.
It's like if he cosplayed Satori, he would have been a triple threat.
He's in full Gastino makeup during the hottest time of the year. I feel that's some dedication.
I honestly don't get to see too many cosplayers at AX. I think because where Artist Alley is located and with how busy Artist Alley gets, cosplayers don't tend to come down there. So I didn't really start seeing a lot of One Piece cosplayers till like the last day or last 2 days, like Saturday mainly.
Judging by the photos, you'd have to look pretty hard to find any sort of specific cosplayer. It looked like you couldn't even move in that hall.
Artist Alley is always way more cramped than it really needs to be. I don't know why they don't spread it out more, but it's insane.
Jill, do you have a favorite cosplay that you saw for One Piece?
Yeah. I actually got a great picture of a Sengoku cosplayer that I saw in the dealer's hall. I put it on my Twitter. He looks amazing.
Yeah, I think we retweeted that one.
Probably, yeah. And it was like old retired version. He's got like the white hair, and then he's got like some snacks he was eating. He was great. He looked really good.
I think he did come by my table. He was dressed as a Marine. I don't know if it was younger Sengoku, but I know he did tell me he was dressing up as Sengoku the following day. And I think that's the one you're talking about. But
it would be great if someone dressed up as Sengoku like in all his stages as the convention went on. Just as if the con aged them through the 4 days from like young Afro Sengoku to white Afro Sengoku.
Oh boy. Just looking at
golden.
Yeah, the golden.
You were saying,
form.
Alex?
Judging by all the pictures that I've seen and how crowded AX looks, I think that being there for 3 days would age me in real life.
Yes, yeah. So we'll probably talk about AX more in the coming episode or the coming weeks. But thank you guys for your report there and for your hard work doing One Piece stuff at the convention. There's other big news, and it's Greg related news. And Stephen, correct me if I'm wrong, just because I don't speak Japanese, and a lot of this news was in Japanese. I don't know if you've been following it, Stephen. But the latest data book is going to be called Vivre Card. I think that was just announced this week. Do you want to talk a little bit about it, Stephen?
I still don't know what it actually is. They're doling out the information bit by bit, but they have revealed that it was a bunch of kind of famous One Piece mania, a lot of Hokotate members, including Greg, of course, coming together, and they had this big round, not literal round table meeting, but they called it the Reverie. Yeah, square table meeting called the Reverie, in which they were planning and kind of brainstorming ideas. I don't know when they did this, probably a few weeks ago. Brainstorming these ideas for this ultimate data book / fan book, and now they have revealed that the title of the book is Vivre Card, and I'm sure that they will be trickling out more details in the weeks to come. I believe that's sometime in the next few months, I believe, is when that is supposed to come out. But it's still kind of a mystery as to what exactly that is and what that means. I think they were going to have another live stream or something, some sort of online event of that nature to actually show off what this is going to entail. But I don't know. I don't have that information yet.
Yeah, I know Takashi Iwata, that's the new official YouTube One Piece guy. He's been putting up a lot of videos. Greg was in some of the more recent ones, including one where he congratulates him with what could only be called probably the best series of spit takes you've ever seen.
Greg got a drone.
And Greg got a drone, which is some of the biggest news there. And he also was in the Reverie YouTube video that was on the official Takashi Iwata YouTube page. And I think all those videos, I'm not positive, but that's the new editor for One Piece who's in all those videos, right, Stephen? I don't know if you've.
I have not seen the video yet. I've been super super busy. So I cannot speak with any authority here.
I'm 90% sure that's who that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, if that's true, tweet at us.
Yeah, I'm sure Craig is going to be tweeting to clarify things. Anyway, you should really check out Greg's Twitter. It's Ochimusha108 if you haven't. There's been a lot of news on that front, and we're not going to have enough time to go through all of that here, so just give it a look. One more piece of news. Do you guys want to talk about Goku and Luffy and that?
Still good.
I'm seeing double. Four
Luffy's. Yeah.
Look with my special eyes.
So, for those who don't know,
brand.
The Weekly Shonen Jump in Japan, correct me if I'm wrong, Steven, had Goku and Luffy drawn by Eiichiro Oda on the cover, along with some of the other authors, including the author for My Boku no Hero, My Hero Academia, and
was that? I can't remember if that's this week's cover or if that is next week's cover that they revealed early or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's for the 50th anniversary, and so they're paying some tribute to the past classics.
It's a little unnerving how much the Goku looks like Luffy.
Okay, let's talk about this.
I mean,
do I need to leave?
Once before, and I mean, it was definitely Luffy in cosplay, but it didn't quite look like this.
Here's why it don't work. Now, Oda could totally draw Goku in his style, and he's done it before. The big problem is just he drew Goku the way he draws Luffy, and basically how he draws his characters is their facial features are very close to the jawline, and they're pretty much almost kind of kept in a square. So the eyes, ears, mouth are very close to each other. Toriyama style, it's a little more spread out. Here's the problem. I think if you take this Goku Luffy face and if you just moved it further up the head, I think it would look a lot better. The problem here is the face is so close to the jawline. Goku has this giant freaking forehead, and it looks bad.
I just think that the face is exactly the identical face. That's the problem. Yeah.
So
It's also very uncanny valley.
I tweeted about this earlier, and Greg responded, and he brought up an interesting point about how it's very possible that Luffy is originally Oda's fan art of Goku, and this could be like I guess, sort of a weird tribute to that. That and the the Goku that we've seen Oda draw before from way back. That's him in battle mode. Versus the normal jovial let's have a barbecue Goku that we see on occasion. I still think it looks bad. It looks like I don't know. If you cover Luffy's face, it doesn't look that bad. But next to Luffy, like if it's right next to Luffy, it just looks kind of unsettling to me.
It's like, oh, here's my lost brother, Goofy.
Goofy.
Or
gosh.
or Goku.
Goku. If they fuse together.
Yeah. I mean, if they fuse together, that's what they would look like. That's the whole thing.
Well, if they fuse together, then it would be Go Oofy, right?
Or just Goofy.
I would agree that it's kind of, if you just take Goku here separate, if you cover Luffy up, it kind of looks fine. It's that they are just so clearly have the same face.
Oh, or maybe Luffy-to, like with two T's, like
okay.
Kakaroto.
Before we get into
so
the show,
what are they going to call him in another version? They're going to call him Lufarat?
Oh, right. And if it is, that's right. If it's the alternate English spelling, it's Lufarat.
On today's episode,
or they could spell Lufito with like an I,
or Lufiroto.
We're going through chapter 910 onward to Wano. Our anime recap will be back with a double impact next week. If you don't know, we're doing our read-through episodes every Friday. Please check that out if you have not. We just announced the first winner on Twitter. And we're going to be sending him, Alex will be sending him the One Piece Compendium shortly, or in the next few weeks or whenever.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And next could be you, as I point to the camera.
Thank you for that.
Well, sure, I'll give it a shot.
Well, Steve,
that's my job.
Steve, you're ineligible. By the way, At War of the Best was the winner of the first one, and a Canadian. So there you go. You could win in the United States or Canada. And if you're not in the United States or Canada, you could still win. And you can't win a compendium, but you could win a chance to be on our show. So there you go. That's pretty cool in and of itself. So please check that out if you haven't. And if you haven't picked up the One Piece Compendium, what are you waiting for? Pick it up, show us pictures of you with it, and let us know what you think about it. And let Steven know what you think about it, because he worked on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we are ready to get into this manga recap. Are you guys ready?
Oh, yes.
Yo-S.
Hong Kong.
This is the manga recap for chapter 910, Onward to Wano. Ed, is this ever going to end?
I don't know. I've kind of turned the page on it again. Olympus surprises me because, it's 4:30 p.m. This is the saga of the self-proclaimed Straw Hat Fleet. This is the 40th volume, and it's not the 40th volume of Olympus, but it feels like it. But Booker Olympus is bringing the jokes that they were poorer than anticipated, now distributing supplies.
Is this the same town they were attacking?
Yeah.
Yes, I love this guy. Orlumbus is the worst pirate.
He really is.
Oh man, I love the buildings. Like they've got they're patchwork buildings. It's so funny. Like
It's like
That's
stitching.
yeah. Have y'all ever seen Christmas in Tattertown? It's this weird Ralph Bakshi Christmas special that Nickelodeon used to air all the time. Anyway, that's what it fucking looks like. Look it up.
Threads, baby.
It's on YouTube.
I feel obliged to point out that that's not how like construction works, or how you
doesn't?
repair buildings.
I mean, it's how the Mary was being held together at the end there.
That's true.
Yeah,
This-
Mary's made of wood.
It's just patchwork.
Wow.
It's aesthetic.
Anything else about the front page?
I don't
Man,
know.
that kid looks so happy. That kid looks like Steve, also.
Not going to
Man,
refute that.
Behind the back, standing behind the bread.
And this is a banger freaking year for me being in manga and anime. Golden Kamuy, My Hero Academia,
A third
What?
thing. Oh, this.
Orlumbus's cover story. Wow, the dream, living the dream.
I think that only
That other It's anime.
I
oh
love
yeah.
how Columbus is wearing his go-go boots with his jorts. It looks like he took from Luffy's wardrobe.
Every
Yeah,
week we
yeah.
spend longer and longer talking about this cover story that
Ed.
we want to end.
You want to start with the first page of the manga. Please get away from this.
Okay.
Oh.
At sea, new world. Reverie? No, reverie. Kings from all over the world are gathered at Mary Joa. Ah, Luffy actually does seem to get it this time. And we are reminded again with a big dome. This is the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, Straw Hat Luffy. Bounty 1.5 billion berries.
Who?
Straw Hat Luffy.
I don't. Okay.
Ooh.
So the star of the show this time, is the Ryugu Kingdom. And Nami's reading out of the newspapers what this is, as Chopper is trying to fix the ship in the background. He's very cute with his Japanese, like sweat rag or his sweatband. What is that? But yeah. So the Shirahoshi got major cheers at the Red Port. It was a big step forward, and even Luffy recognizes that she's getting a lot tougher, even if Grandpa Garp was her personal escort. He's like, oh well, like I guess that makes sense. And then Sanji comes in from the side of the panel, saying "Vivi, Vivi, wow!" And as Nami is reading, he sneaks in between the newspaper and her, and he is completely distracted because Vivi is even more lovely than you were before, Princess. Who is that for? Me? Wait, that's a bad boy.
That was a Muppet voice.
No, it's what this Sanji
Yeah,
deserves.
it's appropriate.
What's
Men are
funny?
disgusting.
Ridiculous faces.
So on the back of that paper, it looks like it says FML. Which
Yes.
seems to be what Nami is thinking.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. You know, me, Mr. Sanji's cool.
Hey, guess what, Steve? Sanji's horny. Sanji's horny at yahoo.com.
And that's my After Dark account.
No. Sanji is working. So yeah, he gets a big lump on the noggin, and but Nami is still happy about Vivi. That's great. It's been forever since we saw her. Even Luffy and Chopper come over to look at the newspaper for that, and so they talk about the mingling courtyard, the royals and all of their guards, and so if Dressrosa is there, Sanji thinks, then that means.
I want to point out just like two things here. The first was that Alexei was joking that when Luffy is confused about the reverie, because he's apparently never heard the term before, that he should be like levelly, like the way that
Yeah.
Oda's been writing it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm very upset you didn't do that.
It's funny. I was thinking the same thing, and that would have been a great joke.
Yeah, it was a little too cheeky, but also I love that when Nami is reading off the paper that Garp was Shirahoshi's personal escort, he's just like, oh, okay, like that's the extent of his interest in what his family members are doing. It's just
It's on brand. It makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
for
To be
Luffy.
fair, Garp was not the best of grandpas.
True.
It was the best
Also,
of
the last time we
grandpas.
saw him was at
It was the worst of grandpa.
it was the
Blurst of
best of
grandpa.
it's the best of grandpas. It was the blurst of grandpas.
You stupid
also-
monkey D.
I'd also just like to know whatever Sanji's doing here in the last panel.
Face down, ass up.
That's the
Downward.
way we like to. Anyway, on
You
the
guys,
next page.
it's downward dog. He's doing downward dog. Everybody.
yeah.
Dog.
It's doing
Downward
a
dog.
Let's go with
butt
that.
jiggle.
Chopper.
So here on the
Oh yeah.
Chopper's trying to do the worm like Alex at Zach's wedding.
Also,
I successfully did the worm. Okay.
you certainly
Oh, well, I didn't
did the
see it,
worm.
so,
Chopper also is doing Frankie's job. And in that other page, and there's some patchwork you could see on the Sunny from Big Mom's Destructive.
He learned
Yeah.
from the best. He learned from Usopp.
Alex, yeah.
Yeah. So on the next page, we see the various crew members looking over all the pictures in today's paper from the mingling courtyard. Obviously, Sanji is the most interested in Viola, and I imagine this is Luffy talking because he refers to Dalton as the acorn guy, and gives an wapal, gross, and also notices that Rebecca and Sai and all these people we know are there. Look at all these people we know.
I just want to point out, I find it interesting that he refers to Dalton as Acorn Guy when I thought he would have referred to Cricket as Acorn Guy.
No, he's Chestnut Guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm mixing up my nuts.
That's a lot of nuts.
That's Island.
It is Nuts Island. Man, that's a catchphrase I forgot about. So Sanji, of course, is very interested in all the princesses that he knows getting together, and he bets that they're talking about him. Well, everybody's back. He's back. Could be worse. So I'm not too sad about it, I guess.
No, it gets worse though on this page.
Well, so he says, "Oh, talking about me, I bet." And Nami just says, "Oh, well, it's nice to dream." Hey, Chopper, look, something way more important. And Chopper is poor Chopper sees a picture of Dr. Kureha and says, "Oh, it's Dr. Irene." And Sanji says, "Oh, well, she hasn't kicked the bucket yet." And he gets greeted with a flying kick to the face, courtesy of Chopper, and makes an amazing sound. I love the sounds of Sanji getting hit.
It's not quite a hoget, but
It's not. It's something I've missed.
What's on Chopper's shirt, by the way, Steven?
Wataame, that's cotton candy.
Appropriate.
Just in case people forget what kind of food Chopper is. So he cuts.
He's called Cotton Candy Chopper, though. Isn't that his
Cotton
cotton
epithet?
candy lover. It's on
I think
his
it's- yeah.
vinyl poster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's his lover on the back of his hoodie.
That's got to be a real shame for all. I think Chopper really does like cotton candy. It'd be a shame if like someone took a picture of you one time when you were just having dinner and say if you just had like a really crappy grilled chicken sandwich that you weren't a fan of, and then like you're forever known as the grilled chicken sandwich lover.
I had a friend who did that with me. I had a roast beef sandwich, and then he always just said, "Oh, you want a roast beef sandwich?" And I'm like, "What?" One time.
Roast beef Zach.
We did that with a
Maddie, get that one down.
roast beef sack. Gross. Actually, a little bit more off topic. We used to do that with a friend of mine who would eat a State Farm frozen corn dog every day when he got home from school. And then we pestered him about it so much that he stopped eating corn dogs.
Is it bad? I was
Altogether.
thinking of the insurance company.
Okay, I was gonna ask you.
It's a State Farm.
You know what? I meant State Fair, not State Farm.
Is his name Jake?
No, his name was not Jake. Boy,
We have corn dogs.
That's farmers. It's a different thing. I'm expecting money insurance companies.
oh man, what if that was part of your policy? You got free corn dogs. Okay.
I don't know. All the insurance companies are based in Iowa. It could happen.
So after kicking Sanji in the face, Chopper cheekily starts cutting Dr. Kreha's picture out of the newspaper, and he's also clearly cutting up a picture of Kaido as he's and Sanji yells at him, says, "Don't cut that out, Chopper." In the next panel, Nami lambasts them both for cutting out photos because she hasn't completely read all the articles that were on the other side of the newspaper.
Okay, Dad. Jeez.
Important looking articles.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes, which actually, like, I thought about this. I'm like, isn't that the front of the paper? Or, like, wouldn't if she have read that first? Or it's like, also, the Reverie, page 16. Like, that was her.
Yeah.
Isn't the back sports anyway?
Big Mom beat Kaido in the World Cup today.
Tramampoline.
Trambompoline.
Please don't bring home any more old crutches.
So before Nami can lambast them even more for bringing home old grudges, yeah, great segue, Alex. They're both swooning over the pictures that they've cut out, assuming Sanji cut out pictures of all the princesses.
In heart shapes, as a matter of fact.
Are they?
Sanji has at least one heart shape cut out there.
Oh, it's like almost a Nirvana song.
Sanji doesn't have his own room, does he?
No, he doesn't. He
No, because
shares.
that locker full of porn Chopper found.
Ah,
Oh yes.
God, I forgot about that. I didn't want to remember.
Magazines. So we zoom out and we have a perfect view of the Sunny sailing along, and Nami notices, hey, this is an article about Kaido, and Big Mom, what? Oh, I can't read it. Sanji and Chopper give those pieces back, and they're probably not gonna, because they keep giggling. But to the right of the Sunny, there's a little splash. Something rears its head. More on that later. Luffy remarks that he's glad to know all of his friends are doing well, and once they've gone around the world, we'll pay them a visit again. And Brook says, oh, yes, all in good order. And how's that transponder snail doing, Luffy? And Luffy says, oh, I forgot. And as Luffy speaks into the transponder snail, you see a tentacle sort of ease its way onto the panel. And there's no response on the transponder snail. Luffy looks a little exasperated by this, but he says, forget it. Let's just keep going.
And on the next page, we get a full elongated proportions shot of Nami, who appears to be almost as tall as Brook. Her legs grew, and
No
there's
knees.
there's like an octopus appears to be standing there as well.
I don't know.
in the
There's a lot of
background.
references to famous paintings in this chapter, so
Yeah, we'll get to that. And she's looking ahead, and she's like, "Well, I'd like to just keep going forward, regardless of this, transponder snail issue. But I'm just getting a bad feeling from these wave patterns, these unique waves around Wano. I've never seen anything like them." And Brook is noting that it's the wind gets stronger and the waves get taller the closer they get to Wano. And then we get this, huge panel as part of this spread, and you can see the kind of like the same kind of rock formation looking mountains, very tall and slender and gnarled, and they have all the kind of the bonsai style trees growing off of them, and then there's just like these roiling clouds and waves as well. Utilizing a lot of these, kind of ukiyo-e style, patterns for wind and water, and it doesn't look very good. And they're noting that that can't just be from the wind alone. That can't be the only thing that's causing that. And just look even further in the distance. The weather is terrible. Like maybe we should hang back for now, says Brook. And then this is clearly Luffy is saying, why would we hold back? Come on, let's just go. Let's just go to Wano. And Brook wants to know, why would you deliberately drag your crew into danger, Luffy? Which I don't know if Brook's short-term memory is not very good, but let's It's what Luffy always does. And then Nami points out, well, the thing is, Brooke, and now she's turning. They're practically facing this octopus here. He's just like part of the crew. And Nami's like, Kinemon did say, and then we get a little flashback to what Kinemon was saying, and he says, as I will explain on the snail when you approach, so that would suggest they've been trying to contact Kinemon and failing. But he says entrance will be perilous. There's foul weather that swirls around the nation at all times, and the waves are churning, and the tides are rapid, and it's just it's a real mess.
Steve.
And Brooke starts tweaking. He says, wait, the weather's always bad? So we have no choice but to just go through this bad weather? No wonder why this nation is closed off. And then we get a salute from the newest crew member, the Octoling, name to be determined later. He gives a salute and goes, ew. And Nami has a new kind of expression in One Piece not yet seen, where her eyes bolt.
His name may be Nakamapus?
Oh my god.
No.
Yes.
No.
Octopal.
Thank you.
I like
Thank you,
Octopal more.
How about
Good.
Kabukiyaki? Because he's making the kabuki sound.
We could let Maddie
Yo?
choose this at the end.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Tenchi Muyo sound, as I call it.
Yeah, and the,
Usually
and
followed by a bamboo noise.
the, or the tsuzumi. It's like a drum, like a sort of like a tambourine type drum thing.
Yeah, the Tenchi Muyo sound.
Yeah.
Oh, Ryoko, we got an octopus on the ship.
You can just call me Lil Washu.
I love how after years of people making fun of all the in-between cells in the anime, finally we have an in-between Nami for the manga here. That's got to be the crappiest Nami he's ever drawn.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sure that's not Perona?
No,
Oh,
sorry. Or last time we had Pudding, who has 3 eyes. Now we're introduced to a cycloptic One Piece woman. So anyway, of course, Nami flips out. What is that thing? It's an octopus. Yo, boom, boom, boom. Keeps doing that sound. And they're like, when did that get on the ship? Well, if you were reading the manga, it got on a few pages ago. And Chopper notices something. There are giant. There's a school of giant koi fish just flying. Not flying. Sorry, this is in Sabaody. They're just giant koi fish swimming alongside the Sunny, going against these waves. But it's like, what are koi doing in the ocean? Sanji asks, because koi are freshwater fish. How are they surviving? Do you think logic applies to monster koi fish? Do you think logic applies to this series? I don't think so.
I love how they basically just called out, like, this is One Piece.
Yes. I think it's gotten to the point now. It's like, because One Piece.
I like that Oda at least calls out that this shouldn't be happening, but forget about it.
Yeah, it's like one of the assistants was just like, aren't those only freshwater fish? He's like, I guess you're right. Let's put in one line.
Yeah.
Well, Sanji's a chef. He would know.
But hey, Sanji, do koi fish taste good? And of course they do if you wash them in hot water and serve them chilled. And there's koi koku, where you stew it in miso paste. And Luffy starts licking his chops as he hears even more recipes, like they're good as tempura, and simmered with some sweet soy sauce. So,
by the way, everything is good in tempura, so that doesn't really mean anything. In my opinion.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's like if Luffy asked Sanji, hey, can you deep fry an Oreo? It's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, we're Americans. We know
Yeah.
Sure,
deep
yeah.
frying things works.
Yes.
Have it with your State Farm corn dog, Luffy.
Like a good neighbor, the corn dog was there.
And Luffy says, sounds good. Let's celebrate reuniting with the rest of the crew with one of these, as he latches onto one of the koi fish, and everyone's like, oh, Luffy, no. As,
Oh.
As Luffy, you want to talk about lack of logic here? Luffy grabs onto a fish which is known to swim in water, which Luffy cannot do. So as it swims past the Sunny, Luffy commands, don't struggle. And the rest of the crew says, well, of course it's going to struggle. And Nami's just like, why you gotta be like that? After all these years, why you gotta be like that? Well, she's really yelling and making an angry One Piece yelly face. But Sanji says, it's all right, Nami. He can manage on his own. Let's just focus on keeping the ship safe. And that's like probably the most normal Sanji's been this entire chapter.
And we go to the next page as Octopal bangs on his head. Why am I even trying?
That was really good.
And they ask, oh, geez, what's up with this damn octopus? And then we see the Great Wave off Kanagawa.
It's reading for this video game, Zach. Sorry.
This definitely looks like it's based off of that extremely famous painting, which we've already made references to in this podcast, like 8 years
Waves
ago.
and Rocks.
Yeah, no, it's not the toy.
That's not the painting I was referencing. I was referencing another painting that octopus features in.
Oh
God! You mean the one that's hanging in Burt Cooper's office in Mad Men?
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Well, this is a different one. This is a different ukiyo-e painting.
It's by Katsushika Hokusai.
Yeah.
Hokusai. Yeah.
Hokusai. Yeah, that's right.
Probably the most famous piece of Japanese art. In front of the karsts there, you just see these giant waves looking like they're about to swallow both the koi fish, Luffy, and the Thousand Sunny. And Brook, Nami notes to, I assume this is Nami, that the wind is too strong and to furl this, and for Carrot to furl the sails. Meanwhile, Brook, who should probably be doing anything else but what he's doing, says, "Ooh, look how pure the water is! It's crystal clear brook on a mountainside. Beautiful.
Look how tall Brook is standing right next to Nami right there."
I was
it.
waiting for this to be some sort of on-brand Skull joke or Brook joke, but he's actually just referring to an actual brook. So I was disappointed.
Oh, it's the brook. Brook's noticing the brook. Anyway, looking in the water at the koi fish. I mean, seriously, they're like about to be hit by like 2 tsunamis in a whirlpool, and he's just like, "Ooh, look at the pretty koi fish in the river."
Well, Zach, sometimes you gotta take a look. It's in a brook.
Reading Rainbone. We did it.
Can someone else write that down? Since I'm doing this. So Nami said, "Look, I don't need to see it. They're creeping me out. These mega huge koi fish."
But you can see the scale because there's the smaller ones, like the more normal sized ones, up above the giant one.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Knows that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Anyway, and Sanji's like notices, hey, where are these koi fish going? And we see this river-looking thing between the karsts go in and out and in and out, and that they're just along for the ride. Don't even know where Luffy is at this point. And Chopper,
he's in that top panel there. He's still hanging onto the fish. He's way ahead of them.
Yeah, but I mean the rest of the crew doesn't know where he is. And Chopper looks in horror. Carrot looks in glee as they both say, "Ooh, what's that?" Chopper noticing that now they're in trouble. They can't keep up with the koi any longer because Jill.
Because on the next page, we see a giant waterfall that is going up. The fish are going up, and it's like the waterfall at the end of the river. And they're all shocked about this, which it's not the first time we've seen this happen. We've seen Reverse Mountain. Then there was the thing that put them in Skypiea.
A ship going up a mountain? Impossible.
I mean, I can't even imagine that.
I mean,
The river's flowing backwards too.
This felt like a little bit of a retread, not to ruin the joke, but yeah, go ahead.
And Nami says there must be a major source of fresh water up there, and that's why it's not seawater. So that explains the koi fish. And could it be the land of Wano right on top of that? And then Luffy, he's back. Those koi are tough because, he's been riding his koi fish through water this entire time because he can't swim. So smart move on that.
Can I just ask something quick? The water is still going down. It's more like salmon going upstream. Is that what's happening? Because you also see the mist at the bottom. So I'm like assuming.
Yeah. Does it only apply if it's seawater? Because I don't know. They make it seem like it's freshwater. I don't know.
Well,
is there no logic here?
It is fresh water, but I thought it was going up if only because it seems like they're getting pulled by a current going up, right?
Yeah, but where's the water? Where's the current coming from in the first place? It's the New World. Can't explain it.
Yeah, it's a mystery. Yeah.
It's One Piece.
Yeah. It's a mystery current.
Mystery current. And now he says, Luffy, the ship's gonna sink. And Luffy has no worries. He knows what to do. He's just gonna grab onto the koi and have them lead them up the mountain.
Koi.
What part of Luffy is connected to the ship?
Oh my
Maybe
god.
his legs aren't
Oh, no.
wiggling or
So-
something.
Yeah, he jumps back on his favorite seat
Yeah.
in the earlier panel
It looks
from the
painful.
koi.
The stomp there. Yeah.
Yeah, I assume so. They got separated briefly, and then they get back together and get separated in like 10 seconds from now. But yeah, I assume he's holding with his feet. I don't know.
And Carrot and Chopper keep the same faces as before. And Sanji is giving the Octopal a real hairy eyeball there. He is not happy. So they are indeed climbing the waterfall.
With the koi fish.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's more upstream even after that. And it's a whirlpool and bum bum. And hey, the ship is on its side now. And that's a really beautiful Wano landscape right there. And we just hear the sounds of the whoosh and the splash of the waves.
This
and the
is also
sand.
based off of a painting. I think a viewer sent in that this was based off of another painting. Am I correct or wrong? I don't know.
I think I
Yes,
saw that tweet.
I
Yeah.
saw
Yeah.
that as well.
I don't know the name of the
Uh,
painting though. That's the problem.
I think you mentioned that the cranes in the background are very similar to ukiyo-e
The-
cranes.
Yeah, Japanese cranes or cranes nearby Mount Fuji. The other, it's called Tago Bay near Ejiri on the Tokaido. Is what this looks like apparently.
Tago Bay, like Tago is an octopus.
Tokaido.
Oh, Tokaido Bay.
No, Tokaido is the main road up and down the
Okay.
main part
yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, almost.
The
Isn't there
Eastern
that?
Road.
There's that ukiyo-e series, like the 52 stops along. Is that the Tokaido? I forget.
Yes, I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But Crab comes in from the side and skitters, and pinches Luffy right in the nose.
Citizen Snaps.
You got crabs, ass face.
I
Gotta
love
ask
the,
Crab's face.
going back to the big panel, I love the way that like you can see in the background that like the trees kind of get normal, but the ones right in the foreground with that sort of gnarled like bonsai looking thing, how specifically they're kind of drawn to look like the theatrical way to hold your fan, like you curl the fingers upward and as you hold it down low, and it's just like they all look like that, all those little bunches with the little branches sticking up. It's a really cool look. I like it a lot.
I love that Luffy face when he gets pinched by the crab.
Yeah, I love how the hair just gets all pointy as a reaction. It's a really good drawing.
Citizen Snipson. It's Wano, guys. What's next, Ed? Alex, sorry.
And with a yow, Luffy wakes up and gets up, looks around, notices that everybody's gone. Says, "Where'd everybody go? Is this Wano? What happened to us again?" Well, like the upteenth time that this has probably happened to Luffy.
I like that there's at least some sort of recognition here from Luffy that this has been repeated over and over and over. Fishman Island.
That wasn't really the implication. It was more like, wait, how did this happen? Like, because you see a bunch of crazy stuff happening, but then it's like, wait, how is the ship here? Where's everybody else? How do we get to this point?
I like
Here
the
we
fourth.
go again.
I like the fourth wall interpretation of it, but okay.
I suspect
happened to us again?
Octopal.
Yeah. So that's what happened. What happened to us again? Like, yeah, I see. But before Luffy can have the chance to ruminate on this further, he hears a kyow and sees a giant object run directly into the Sunny. And he yells at this thing and says, "Hey, you don't mess up our ship." And he thinks, he wonders if this is a dog. Are you a dog? Are you fighting another animal? Or wait, or maybe you're a boar. So this is clearly all the animals in Wano look like they're supposed to if they were painted in an ukiyo-e style, which is fucking cool. And it's best exemplified when Luffy says, "Here comes another huge animal," and the dog stares down the animal that had knocked him into the Sunny, which is cue the Oda box and a Shima-sen sound, please. It's a baboon.
Baboon.
And
baboon, baboon, baboon.
Oh, yeah. And it looks like an oni. Very, very interesting. And carrying a katana. And the fact that it's carrying a katana alerts Luffy to the fact that he is definitely in Wano.
That's what set him off, yes.
Yes.
Well, I find it interesting Luffy specifically refers to it as a katana, because I believe that's the first time I could recall that term being used in the English version.
In English, yeah. Yeah, well, it seemed like it was very appropriate now that we're in Wano, since they're definitely going to be like proper katana like this one where it's, curved and everything.
Does do they not explicitly say in the English version that Zoro has katana?
I don't recall off the top of my head if there has ever been a reference to or a use of the word katana. I think it's usually just sword.
Sword, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if maybe they used it in Logtown with the Ippomatsu's story. Yeah, but I'm not sure.
Let's see the chapter.
Yeah, let's talk about this chapter. Jill, you want to start us off?
Sure, yeah. I thought this chapter, I'm sure everyone agrees with this, was absolutely gorgeous. I just love seeing ukiyo-e paintings and the way that Oda's interpreted them to make them One Piece style, but still definitely pulling on that traditional version is great. I'm sure I don't recognize all of the references, but I mean, the wave panel for sure. It's just really cool. I think the art was really great. Obviously transitional chapter. We're getting into Wano. Hopefully we'll be there soon. Hopefully we're in it. And the crew won't be apart for very long. And I actually didn't see the octopus getting onto the ship or the panel right after that where you see the tentacle. So for a little bit there, because the only panel I saw was him just standing next to Brook and Nami. I thought I had skipped a chapter. Or along the way. I had to go back to my old Shonen Chomp, and I was like, when did we gain a new crew member? So I just kept going through. I was basically like them. I was just like, there's just this octopus here now. I just accepted it basically until they mentioned it. Yeah, it's a pretty good chapter. I enjoyed it.
Steven.
Yeah, obviously really gorgeous. The sort of natural vistas, making use of the traditional art, it was really fun. I actually, I'm curious to see now. See, I kind of quizzed Greg because I was like, I said to him, like, this chapter reminded me very strongly, like not to the level of like deja vu, but the way that he executed this chapter reminded me very strongly of the intro to another arc. And I was like, so, one guess, like, can anyone guess which arc?
Fishman Island?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's the same like setup of there's a whole bunch of double page spreads where they're all showing off these really beautiful but really kind of perilous natural obstacles that they're going through, and there's a lot of banter happening in the meantime, and obviously all the aquatic animals and such adds to that. But yeah, it was very much like okay, well, we're not quite at this place yet. We need some little kind of adventure to get us up to Wano, but it's not going to be quite that easy. And obviously with Luffy kind of getting shipwrecked here all by himself. That's kind of raises the question, okay, well, what happened to the rest of the crew? Why is he alone? And how is that going to start? But this is clearly like, okay, Oda is kind of he's pairing off, or not PAIR, but PARING, kind of peeling everyone else away so that it's just Luffy, and then you can kind of do a properly paced introduction to getting into this location and figuring out what's going on, setting up some stuff that will carry us into the larger story. I guess one last thing I would point out is that the creature, not the baboon, but the other creature, is a komainu, which is also known as a lion dog. It's like those ornamental statues that you see on the sides of entranceways. There's the Okinawan version of it is called a shisa, and obviously there's also like the original kind of Chinese version of like the ornamental lion sort of creature. And so that's what you get with this guy with the big fangs and the kind of curly flame looking hair and the real heavy set look. So that's what that guy is. And I guess we'll have to wait and find out why they're fighting.
Any other thoughts, Stephen? Or
nope, that was my turn up my voice at the end of my sentence so that I'm done.
Okay, that sounds good, Alex.
Yeah. Funny you mentioned that, Stephen, about like what arc does this remind you of? Because Fishmelon came to mind, and so did Long Rang Longland, when the sea monkeys come out of nowhere and take them to where they need to go. It's such a One Piece thing to have some sort of weird creature show up and they don't pay any mind to it, like it's the norm. Like that's the most One Piece thing I can think of off the top of my head right now when thinking about this chapter. So yeah, super super cool stuff. I like this chapter a lot. I guess we should talk about I guess it's not really an elephant in the room anymore. The elephant has left the room because I think there was some deliberation whether or not we'd be returning to the Reverie this chapter. And I'm kind of glad we're not, just because since we had the curtain open on Wano literally last chapter, it would only make sense to move forward with Wano. And if this is what we can expect, like all this amazing ukiyo-e art, then I am completely on board. So beautiful, so beautiful. I think it's really funny that the waves of Wano are two-dimensional. As far as the Straw Hats being separated, I don't think that's going to be something that is going to carry forward for very long, to be honest. It seems like it's easier to explore a given space for the first time if it's just Luffy remarking on it, I think. And who knows, maybe the rest of the crew will be together or running away from the commotion that Zoro has caused.
Well, they did explicitly do a slice of a panel where you see Luffy drowning in the whirlpool. I think to emphasize that he is separated from them.
Yeah, but for how long? My bet is probably not too much longer. But I love that Wano is so different from the rest of the One Piece world. I didn't get to say this last week, but I am so excited for the rest of this arc.
Steve.
I don't think I have too much to really say. It's a fun chapter with a lot of great visuals. The artwork is fantastic. I really like all the allusions to a lot of famous Japanese paintings. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the some of the artists you guys were name dropping because you guys are pros. I'm not.
It was mostly just Hokusai.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the woodblock carving dude.
But a lot of fun gags. The Sanji stuff was cringeworthy, gotta say. It's like, dude, just dial it back. You know, it's like he's lecherous here, and I just can't stand it.
Honestly, I think I'd be a little better with it if his tongue wasn't hanging out and salivating.
Yeah,
Like everything else I'm fine with, but that tongue, man.
It's too much. Like, I hate now, like, that all of a sudden, like, Brooke, the talking giant skeleton who wants to see panties, is like the more chill pervert.
Well,
I don't get
I think he's always been the chill pervert. He's just been a polite pervert.
Mm-hmm. He's an upfront pervert. It's
Sure.
like, hey, ladies, I'm a pervert.
He asks.
He's so sweet. He asks. A lot of great gags. I like the Tenchi Muyo sound octopal. And just honestly, I don't think I have much to add. It's a really fun chapter with a lot of good character gags. Such a shame that they're already split up again. I would love to see them interact more. One last comment. Carrie doesn't really get too much panel time in this chapter, but in the panels where she's trying so hard to be part of the crew. She's just super excited about everything. Nothing gets her down. I'm sure she's like the first one to volunteer, but I feel like if this were like a competition, she'd still be voted off and Jinbei would still win.
I don't know, man. There's a
carrot contingent, yeah.
Yeah.
Ed,
I don't know though. That octopus had more lines of dialogue than she did.
yeah. I am all for Octopal being part of the crew, and
If we didn't get Sarume, there's no chance we're getting the Octopal.
Damn it,
I'm still bitter.
Steve.
Other than that, it was a good chapter.
Ed.
All right. This is a very gag-heavy chapter. I really liked it. Luffy gets close to breaking the fourth wall. Like, that final line is almost too much. Like, all right, this is definitely Wano. There's an animal with a katana. I mean, it's funny in a gag chapter, but I don't know. That would bug me in other places. But this is so obviously a gag chapter with all the cool little gags that they do. I mean, the water around Wano is still so confusing to me, but it was rendered so beautifully, and it's actually something interesting for like the panel where the Straw Hats ship is crashed on the shore there. Oda does a really good job of showing how the water is clear, even in black and white, and it's not really something that you see a lot of places. The waterfall in particular was very beautiful. I thought. Let's see. I mean, other than that, you guys sort of pointed it all out already. The contrast between Chopper and Carrot, they were like great gag partners. This whole chapter. I wanted to point out that there was one page where Chopper and Sanji look like Beavis and Butthead, because they're just giggling to themselves as they look at the newspaper clippings, like. Yeah, Sanji just being gross, but being gross in an extremely predictable way, especially the line where he says, "I bet they're all talking about me." Like,
that's kind of very similar to Beavis and Butthead, like a comment
that's
about
true.
it. Sanji's and Chophead.
Hingis, right?
Bit of a
What's gonna happen when Sanji meets Hina? You smoke cigarettes.
I
smoke cigarettes too.
Immediately thrown out the window.
Yep.
He's gonna offer her a light with that
That's actually
$2,000 lighter.
This is off topic. That's my favorite gag in that entire movie. Him just getting tossed out the window of the White House after like a 5-second silence.
That movie's amazing.
It is.
Anyway, yeah, that's about it. And also, actually, the one thing I really, really didn't like from Sanji was that line about how Dr. Kureha hasn't died. That pissed me off. That was actually the thing that I didn't like.
But the two of them, I'll kind of slack.
Yeah,
go. They hated each other, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Drum Island.
Yeah, Sanji didn't have a very good experience with Kureha at all.
I think Correa kicked his ass a few times.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's bitter about that.
Well, honestly, Sanchi still tried acting polite to Kureha. Kureha still kicked him. So
Yeah.
I guess Sanji's just sour over it.
Yeah.
that made sense to me.
I mean, I guess I'll transition into mine, Ed, unless you...
Go ahead. No,
Yeah.
I didn't have anything.
You kind of get 50 Shades of Sanji this chapter.
Don't put that visual in my head.
But in that...
Saying he's a man of unusual tastes.
So that you get the Sanji we all hate there. We've discussed that pretty thoroughly. We get the Sanji we all like him describing the different recipes you can make with koi. I thought that was a fun little scene. You get the Sanji that you could kick in the face, which Chopper did. And you get the Sanji making weird faces at an octopus in the background. So, yeah, I don't know how to feel. At least it's
Some
not
of my favorite Sanji moments in the past were him making weird faces at octopi.
This is why Octopal needs to be part of the crew. Come on, let's get this to happen. I want to note kind of a tangent, but Luffy's kind of... I'm glad they're all doing well. We should pay everyone else a visit again, after going through everyone who's at the Reverie. Greg's talked a lot on this podcast about how Luffy never says goodbye. He says see you later or something like that. I think that's kind of the most explicitly Luffy is like, yeah, let's visit them all again, as far as I could remember. And Brook kind of saying, yeah, we will eventually, even though he's the one who probably most wants to get to that part of the world so he could see Laboon. I don't know, that's just something that went through my head. The art in this chapter is bonkers crazy. I don't know whether that's Oda or the assistants doing a lot of this work. Like the oceans, I assume, are Oda. But
just pay a compliment to everybody.
Yeah, they all did a very good job. The octopus makes this chapter hands down for me. It's really easy. It's really interesting to see how tattered the Thousand Sunny is. I didn't realize the sails were messed up even, and then just to see it thrown along the shore. It's had better days. We're used to the Going Merry kind of getting beaten up like this, but it's interesting to see the Thousand Sunny kind of getting this kind of damage consistently. This is the part of the arc where we get lots of fun banter and a bunch of really weird animals. Even in the One Piece movies, the beginning of the movies involve that. If you've seen Strong World, it literally starts, I think, with Luffy and Blue Tiger, I think.
No, he's fighting the equivalent to a black and white cookie of a bear.
Yes.
A giant praying mantis.
Yeah, he fights a bunch of different animals. So this is like a typical Oda formula. Like, okay, first we'll see the crazy weather and the crazy surroundings, and we'll have some jokes about it. Then we'll see the crazy animals, and then we see the crazy people. So this is the only complaint I have about this chapter is that it kind of follows Oda's formulas a little bit too much, which Stephen, touched on there. Nothing here was like out of the box for Oda. This was all very in his wheelhouse, which makes it enjoyable because he's good at that. But at the same time, I'd like to see different things at each island, which is kind of why I liked Whole Cake Island so much. It was just so different, except for the seducing woods from his normal formula. Any other thoughts here? No? Okay.
Bring on more Wano.
Yeah, let's move on to some Piece Together.
Okay.
Hey everyone, look at the water. It's so clear, but I guess we got to do our Piece Together segment. We have questions, comments, and theories, but we could look at the water, guys. Ed, what do we start with?
Deuce Peas.
First one comes, by the way, if you want to join us on Dispiece on Discord, all you have to do is be a Patreon supporter, take a screen cap of your Patreon page, and throw it on our Discord channel. First one comes from Morgul. Was it just me, or did that octopus sneaking up on Nami kind of look like the one in the famous painting that I will not name, but Ed has referred to several times?
It's the dream of the fisherman's wife.
That one.
This last weekend, he also said, was both Mai and Rocky/Lucky. What's her? Isn't it Loki? I thought that was her name. From
Loki?
Skypia's birthday.
Loki.
Loki. I thought it was Loki. Yeah.
No, Loki is the prince of Elpine.
Oh yeah, you're right. Right. Is it
Lucky is the Laki. The
Okay,
lady warrior.
that's what he said. So he was right. I was wrong. Anyway, we did discuss that, so that we can move on to the next one.
Oh yeah, by the way, if you've never heard of that painting and you're at work, don't look it up at work.
Yes. It's much worse than the Liberty leading the people that we talked about a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we probably should have led with that part about it. Thetharu, which it's not just me with a lisp, that is the person's name, says, I totally forgot that Carrot was still on the ship. Does that imply anything in terms of crew membership, or is it just a VV situation? Obviously, she had nowhere.
She's getting buried.
How many berries?
Oh boy,
Whoa.
honk honk.
Obviously, she had nowhere to get off in Totoland. Is the crew just gonna miss the story in the paper on the Kaido? Also, this is a separate question, I guess. Is the crew gonna just miss the story in the paper on the Kaido Big Mom partnership? Do we think that Luffy is actually on Wano or not? Beautiful chapter. You could definitely see the Hokusai influences, and Oda has put even more work than usual into the amount of planning in this arc. Love the show. Keep up the good work. Yeah, thoughts on all of that?
I mean,
Well,
they're
I've
gonna
forgotten.
they're gonna be meeting up, I think, with other people from Zoe. There are gonna be other Minks involved in the story from here on. But I really do think that Carrot she's with the crew for good at this point till the end of the story. I'm pretty sure about that.
Wow, Ed.
Yeah, I'm more inclined to believe that when they do, however it is that the Cat Viper team and all of these other kind of groups that are out doing stuff, as mentioned when they left Zoe, I feel like however it is that they all come back together, that's probably when she will, have a kind of an escape route in the story to boot her, because it does seem like she has been like, if it was a true new crewmate situation, I feel like it would have been foregrounded way heavilier.
Guys, I have a crackpot theory tangentially related to this. So Dogstorm and Momonosuke are on Zoe still, correct? Because Momonosuke was learning to talk with Zoe. So my crackpot theory would be that the Minks can all meet up with everyone on Wano by actually taking Zoe directly to Wano and just walking him onto Wano.
Oh man.
My crackpot theory. And if that happens, I would be pleasantly surprised there. That would be nice.
Dude, that'd be sweet.
Yeah. The whole thing is Momonosuke, I feel like, needs to be in this story, and he's there. How will he get from point A to point B? It kind of,
right.
Abdul, not that any of us here really like Momonosuke particularly, just that he needs to get there. Abdul says, great chapter, looking forward to the discussion in the AX recap. Comments, the first page is one of my favorite of the chapter for two reasons. I hope he doesn't mean the page with Orlumbus. Anyway, with Frankie gone, Sunny's repairs obviously fall on the crew's doctor. I dig that though Heavy Point might have been more practical, it would have taken up more space and focus from the reveal. Also, that 1.5 billion looks damn good under Luffy's name, and I never thought I'd see the Sunny like this, but here we are. Questions. What we're going to get to see those flying creatures in the background. Those are what are those called again? Those are herons?
Cranes.
Cranes. They're the same thing as they're surus, right?
Yes.
They're flying surus, which is an image I like. That the flying creatures in the background up close at some point, right? Why do you think the baboon got an Oda box, but the dog boar did not? There's a few questions there.
Because the baboon has a name. It's Baboon.
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 So.
I don't think we might get it next chapter. There's not like a full body shot of it. I feel like whenever Oda does, his little Oda boxes, we usually get a full body shot of whatever has said Oda box or whoever.
All right.
I don't know. That's my small theory.
Yeah, I was shocked to see the baboon get a Oda box, but here we are. Ed, it's
I
time.
mean, I was curious what his name was, and now I know.
It might not be his name. He might just be a baboon. It's time for emails. Ed?
Email.
Thank you. First one comes from... Ed did nothing there. First one comes from Martin, who said, when is Zach going to get with the times and just have a chapter end contest for the Orlumbus cover story? So, I'm not putting any stakes to this. What chapter do you think the Orlumbus cover story will end? We're not going to do Prices Right rules here. We'll do whoever gets closest.
Well, that's messed up because we have to factor in color spreads.
Yeah, that's part of the contest, Steve.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, Steve, you could go first then, since you complained.
Asshole.
We're at 9-10 right now, right?
That's the last time we've gotten a color spread.
It's been a little while.
So we're probably guaranteed at least one. We're at 909.
We're at 9-10, I thought, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 9-10.
Oh, 910. My mistake. I'm gonna say 916.
Wow, this thing's never ending. Alex.
I'm gonna say 918.
Steven.
My guess is 914.
He might know the answer. Probably not.
Not that far. Yeah.
Jill.
913.
Maddie, if you're there, you could tell us yours. Anyway, well, if she does, I guess I have to wait. Who else? Ed, you haven't gone yet.
912.
I'm gonna guess 950.
Didn't want to say 911, huh?
Or I love it. Finally goes to
Jesus. Jesus, motherfucking Christ.
This isn't Harmontown here. We don't do that.
No, it's not.
It's illegal where you live anyway.
Maddie, do you have one? No.
Nope.
Okay.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to everyone's guesses. 921. Does anyone have that?
No, you're good. Okay, and
Okay, cool.
the winner will get an Orlumbus action figure whenever that, or POP whenever that comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
POP,
say that,
totally.
Zach. That's a lot of money.
Olympus is a large man, Zach.
I'm pretty sure there already is an
Oh.
Orlumbus WCF, right?
You know what? Yeah, I'll get whoever wins this will get an Orlumbus WCF. Yeah.
With the sake cup.
Oh, he has the sake. Okay, perfect. Yes, that is what the winner of this will get. I like that prize.
Begging for sake.
Okay, so thank you, Martin. You came up with a contest I never wanted to have. Also, Akeem labels it. Oh, this bonus content, not bonus contest. Okay. Akeem says, "Congrats, Zach. I'm assuming about the wedding. Thank you. I'm writing because I recently got a chance to visit the New York Kinokuniya, and I was delighted. I think Have I met Akeem? I don't know. A chance to visit the New York Kinokuniya. I assume I've met all New York One Piece fans, guys. And I was delighted that they had all the issues of Color Walk Wolf. I was surprised to see that they also had these little books where they mash up of One Piece characters called One Piece Party. So my question is, should these be a thing I try and collect? I picked up the 5th volume, he says. And why do you guys think Viz doesn't seem to believe that there's a market for supplemental One Piece content in the US when it's broken so many records? And I will put in parentheses there for him, abroad. But One Piece Party is a kind of spin-off series made by one of the assistants of One Piece. Please correct me if I'm wrong here. I think I met him. Maybe in Japan, maybe I don't remember.
They all look the same to you, don't they?
All the One Piece editors, One Piece assistants. Sorry, Steven, do you have a little more light you could shed on what it's about? I don't.
It's just a comedy gag like spin-off series. I believe it's still going. Although I don't follow it, so I don't know that much about it. But yeah, it's just a lot of.
It's better than the Chopper Man spin-off, Steve. If you remember that one.
Little
Oh,
bamboo
yeah.
kick. What was it called?
No, banana peck. No.
Baby Pecker Bamboo.
Baby
Yeah.
Pecker Bamboo.
God.
Oh man, why did that series not keep going?
I think
It went
I
for a
think
while.
I think the closest analog to the One Piece party would be, because it is published in English, would be like I think it's Chibi Sasuke series, which is like the Naruto spin-off where that's very cutesy and there's a lot of very silly humor. It's that kind of a manga.
There are only three series that are guaranteed to get all their spin-off stuff published. That's Attack on Titan, Dragon Ball, and Naruto, as far as I can
My
think
Hero
of.
Academia.
And My Hero Academia, yeah. Although they're doing the spin-off for free on Viz's site, from what I recall for that. Anyway, you could pick
Also,
up...
they're probably not afraid that like a spin-off to free will go as long as 900 chapters.
Let's see. Anyway, there's One Piece Color Wall Compendium. If you pick that up, it will increase the chances of those kind of things coming out here. So if you haven't, pick it up. It's not that... How much is it on Amazon right now? It's like $16-20 or something like that. Let's see what else we got. I think that's going to be it for emails. Let's move on to Reddit. Steven.
Okay, we got some good questions on Reddit. We'll start with Amiibo Hunter, who says, "Hi OPP, I've been getting into My Hero Academia lately, and it sparked a question. What series has better / more inventive powers? One Piece or My Hero Academia? How do your favorite devil fruits compare to your favorite quirks? Love the podcast, and I've been excited to be re-listening to the read-through. Thanks."
Let me just say this. And I think I've read the first 13 volumes of My Hero Academia. No one's turned into a rectangular / cubic giraffe yet, so I'm not impressed.
Yeah, I am at volume 11, and I haven't seen anybody transform into a jacket that somebody else could wear, and then they'd become that kind of person. I also haven't seen a gun that's or a dog that's actually a gun that sneezes exploding time bomb baseballs when it sneezes. So sorry, My Hero Academia, you're a good series, but you just don't have what it takes when it comes to ingenuity in my book as well.
My Hero Academia, yeah, you're still a good series, but
it is. I'm really enjoying it. I keep buying the volumes. I crush one volume and I'm like, well, I have to buy the new one, I guess.
Yeah, I caught up yesterday.
Yeah, Alex had a rough go at it at first, but he was having the same kind of feelings I had when I was first reading the series. I think you just got to get past those like first two arcs in My Hero Academia.
It stops becoming Naruto and becomes its own thing like pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
I like it, and the art is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the cast is really good, and the quirks are quite good. I just think that, like, due to the structure of the series, it doesn't seem to be as good at kind of exhibiting all of those things or allowing those characters to shine. It's because it's kind of set in this real world like setting, and so just the general way, the construction of how the story arcs work is very different, and for better or for worse.
Yeah, I think it's a testament to the mentality of Horikoshi, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
and Oda. Oda's humor tends to be a lot more stupid, and I think that's a compliment. And that sort of tends to carry through to his characters and their abilities. So I think that's a big proponent of it as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, ATLA for Life says, after so many world building and world changing chapters, this week's chapter, while fun, definitely felt like it was missing something. Just shows how crazy the manga has been lately. Do you think we'll finally get some further explanation of the grade swords in this arc, and maybe even see the other two Kitetsus? I really want to know what's up with those, since it feels like Oda hasn't really used the cursed sword plot point in a while.
Oh man, I would almost guarantee that we're gonna find out a little bit, at least, about these named swords specifically.
Kitetsu, you think?
Yeah, I talked about this at AX with Brian. Yeah, I mean, we definitely have to see them, at least one more Kitetsu. I mean, the great swords are going to be so important in this arc with Wano.
Yeah, if it's going to show up at any point, it would be here. Although I still feel like that was just kind of I don't know. It was a little thing that he threw into that that one scene to kind of give some background to like, oh, this is like really important, or that is more important than that other thing. It has not really been like when you read that scene, I think the first time you're like, oh man, is this going to be like another thing that we're going to follow throughout the series? Like, oh, this guy's sword is that, and it's one of the highest rank, but it didn't really turn out that way. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see anything specifically about like the various, fancy levels. But I do think Kitetsu is probably a pretty good bet. It's a little too. It's too easy for him to bring up for him not to use that or make some reference to it at least.
I wonder if Wado is going to be remarked upon. Zoro's main sword,
right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the same grade as the Shusui, I think.
I forget what the actual grades are, but anyway, speaking of which, Natachi says, I know this was supposed to be the year of Sanji. Well, that was what, 2 or 3 years ago, but Wano seems like an arc that would be all about Zoro, just like Sanji got a power up in Whole Cake Island in parentheses raid suit. Do you think it's possible that Zoro gets a set power up as well, either a new technique or a new sword?
New sword, I think, is more likely.
Yeah.
Although he did talk about wanting to cut fire like Kinemon did on Dressrosa, so he definitely is interested in learning that.
Yeah, I mean, really, the sky is kind of the limit as far as the possibilities for what could happen with Zoro.
When's the last time we saw Ashura? Because it's been a long time since he used that technique, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like he hasn't been as similar to Luffy in the sense of like, oh, here's this power, and now every time you see me use an attack, it's going to involve this power. It feels like Zoro kind of is more of a one-off guy where he just does something crazy, and then it's always a different thing. We'll see. Well, You're That Too says, I was listening to some old stuff from the podcast, and I noticed that you guys really liked to read Doflamingo's voice in a pretty gay tone. Do you think this interpretation of him is anything that Oda actually intended at all, or just something fans like to assume / joke about based on the pink coat?
Flamboyant.
Yeah. I think probably what they're referring to is like Marineford era stuff, because that was all pre Dressrosa when he actually became kind of like a real character,
and it was also pre-official translation. So I think a lot of the interpretation. Yeah, there was that. There was the whole thing between him and Crocodile, and whether or not there was something there, which Jill is on board with.
Good chip.
I don't remember any of that.
I think this is like year 1 or year 2 of the podcast. So this was a long time ago.
The really rough stuff.
Yeah. Full disclosure, I never really enjoyed that interpretation of Doflamingo. Yeah. And again, I don't necessarily thought my headcanon of Doflamingo was any better. I always thought of him as he sounded like Roy from the Poochie episode of The Simpsons. Like just a really lame DJ guy who's probably like he DJs at nightclubs on weekends, and he's probably just like a total tool to hang out with outside of that environment.
Because he has the same sunglasses.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Mr. Croc? Put a sock in it, Doof.
Mr. C.
Yeah. I think it bears repeating that you guys, for the most part, were really young when the podcast started. So this is a long time ago. That
very different person.
Yeah.
Bartolomeo has a question for me. Do the aliases taken by these Straw Hats in Wano have any hidden meaning? I ask this because Usohachi made me remember me, I guess, mentioning a while back that there is some kind of pun with Usopp's name and the word 8, but I don't quite remember what it was. Do Frenosuke, Orobi, and Zorojudo similarly hide jokes or puns? P.S. Giant octopus for 11th Straw Hat. Yeah, I think Usopp's is kind of the most obvious one. That Usohachi is very similar to, or in some cases you could even read it alternately as Usopachi, which would mean like full of lies, basically, or like bullshit. Like that's what you say, like, oh, that's all Usopachi, and so that was a pretty, I think, appropriate nickname for him. For Franosuke, I'm not sure if there's like a particular like character or a person from a story or something that like is a carpenter or something that could just have been like something that Oda thought sounded good. Odobi is definitely kind of going back to the older traditional way of women's names, where they always had like a short name, short first name that would typically be said with the O in front of it as kind of like a diminutive or like a polite thing. So like they would have simple names like Katsu or Shin or stuff like that, and so they would be Oshin or Okatsu or things like that. And so that just fits into that. Zoro Judo, I think, I forget if I brought this up or not. At first, I found it to be kind of disappointing that he went with that because it's so similar to Kanjuro. But I think it might have been like he wanted to use that because of Sanjuro, the samurai swordsman with all the movies that Oda did the cover art
DVD
for, right?
cover, box set cover.
Yeah. So that may have been just a little like just been too good to pass up for Zoro.
I would have liked Zoroichi.
Zoroichi, that would have been a good one, I think. Yeah.
If I may add, can another one of Usopp's Hong Kong bootleg names be Bullshit Boo?
Bullshit Boo.
Bullshit Boo. Yeah.
I think at that point it would just be bullshit. Just calling him bullshit.
One
Bullshit,
can dream.
sun-kissed.
Together at last.
Two tastes that we wish were always as one.
Stop.
Prince of Assassins says, reading the latest chapter and a recurring gag is really starting to wear thin on me. Nope, I'm not talking about Sanji's Attack on Titan faces. I'm talking about Chopper's character regression. When I talked to my sister, she insinuated that he was being a wimp and said he needs to man up. She also commented that she didn't want Carrot to join because she would be a better chopper than he is, and that all she needs are some bandages, and she's basically a doctor. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but we're getting sick of his character seemingly acting like a baby all the time instead of the 17-year-old he is. He seemed much cooler of a character before, and since Thriller Bark, he's only shined in Punk Hazard. I understand he's the cute animal of the group, but he used to be cute and three-dimensional. Curious if anyone on the podcast feels this way.
Harsh.
Man. Yeah, that's harsh. That's basically like calling Carrot Trafalgar Law.
Oof.
Like, Law, allow me to explain. Law came onto the crew for a while and took the thunder out of Sanji, who was the quote-unquote cool character for a while.
I think Zoro kind of stole that spot.
Zoro's always been cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I like how Chopper, the Chobro thing I enjoyed a lot. I think it's like they're two younger siblings where one kind of knows a little more than the other, but still is, has some nice.
By two, I'm not sharing with Carrot.
Exactly. I mean, Chopper's still very capable. We just haven't seen enough of that, in my opinion, recently. But I think we're 910 chapters in. We know that Chopper is a very capable doctor and has strength when he needs it. So
yeah, I mean, his normal demeanor as the really cutesy character, I mean, that's just kind of set in stone. That's he will always be the baby of the crew, and he's always going to be the one who has kind of the most juvenile reaction to things, comparatively speaking. That's just how you establish that character and have them play that role. But I guess I would disagree that he doesn't have those more three-dimensional moments. It's just that Like if you're kind of judging him by how he was acting in like Drum Island, for example, when he was still sort of living under his personal trauma, well, he's kind of moved on past that because of his, adventures with the Straw Hats. And so this is kind of the real Chopper that we're seeing as the more lackadaisical character, I guess. So I don't know. I guess I don't see that as being kind of his potential, because I feel like he's kind of doing he's doing it right for the character as it exists. Francophile is a first-time listener, has a simple question. If the Vin smokes excluding Sanji were animals, what kind do you think they would be?
Oh, wow.
This really sort of gets to the fact that I still can't quite tell Ichiji and Niji's powers apart.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Not the only one.
Ichiji is sparking, and Niji is lightning.
Okay.
Dengeki.
Okay.
I feel like Niji would be an annoying ass bird.
I feel like
With the hair.
Ichiji would just be whatever animal thinks they're cooler than they actually are.
Ichiji's a lion. He's like a male lion.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh yeah, I have this really cool hair, and it's actually the ladies that are doing the job.
The work, exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I think Yonji would be a crocodile.
Crocodile.
Or a lizard. Some sort of lizard.
Yonji is a chihuahua.
That's a good one.
Annoying little yipper.
He's definitely overcompensating, like that kind of animal.
Yeah, like all tiny dogs.
Yeah.
Maddie has informed us that Yonji is a gorilla, which I could see that. He's strong.
Yeah, but I feel like
he is the tallest, right?
Yeah,
Yonji, yes.
Yeah.
He's the biggest, just size-wise. But at the same time, I feel like that's giving him too much credit. Like, he doesn't deserve that much.
Yeah.
He's Green
Niji
Winch.
is probably some sort of... Yeah. The winch. I'd say he's the winch. Nobody beats him. Oh, yeah, we did that already.
Yeah, we did that title. I thought you were doing a callback, but clearly.
By accident.
What about Reiju?
Good.
Did we do Reiju?
Reiju's a butterfly.
Oh, yeah. Judge?
The monk.
Nobody suspects the butterfly.
Well, Judge is a Garuda. So
That's
like
way
a Quetzal.
cool for Judge.
Yeah, it's like a Quetzalcoatl, right? So
I see Judge more as like a baboon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. Yeah,
For real, yeah. I don't think he would even get the Oda box.
Niji's probably some sort of bird, right?
Yeah, like a fucking annoying cockatoo or something.
Toucan.
I mean, a cockatoo?
Sure.
A cockatoo?
I think I'm
A cockatoo?
cockatoo.
Yeah, he's definitely an annoying bird. And I guess Ichiji is probably I don't know, like a
You did him
lion.
already, yeah. You missed that. Anyway, Steven, what's next?
All right. Next is from our very own Chow, who says, "Hey guys, I found out that a hihi, which is the word for baboon, hihi is also a man-eating yokai that resembles a large monkey. As its name suggests, it's named after its laugh, which it does after seeing a human. Since its eyes are covered when laughing, it can be taken down by driving a stake into its forehead. So, what are the odds that Luffy will quickly resolve this within a few panels of the next chapter by doing a one-shot on it while it's laughing? Also, with the Komainu and the Hihi running around, it seems that Wano is also the land of yokai. If Luffy wants to be the very best, he's got to catch them all, right?"
Or we could have some sort of dark tournament to determine. Anyway,
You're gonna eat them all.
You could eat them all. I kind of like Luffy's ability to tame animals. We haven't seen that in a little bit, so I feel like that would be kind of a cool thing to see. No one else?
I guess not.
Okay. Steven?
Not many baboon opinions over here.
Yeah. All right, Debbie69. I'm gonna direct.
Nice.
I'm gonna direct this question to Jill.
Oh.
After the death of Mother Caramel, Does Charlotte Linlin have any genuine capacity to love any sentient living being? Is there room for positive growth or redemption? She has a very shallow relationship with her own flesh and blood children and stands in stark contrast to Edward Newgate, who dearly loved his motley crew of adopted children.
It's hard to say, because even as a child, she was a monster, but like she was still like a monster who had good intentions. And then she was raised to just kind of only care about herself, really, and that her opinion was the best. I don't know. I generally have no idea. I'm excited to find out if she gets redemption or not. But I don't know with Big Mom.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like you appreciate what you don't have. That's kind of Whitebeard's thing because he didn't have a family, and so he is able to kind of really appreciate having that big family once the adopted family he gets. Big Mom has way too much family, so she just couldn't give a shit.
I would definitely say that as far as the question, is there room for redemption? I think if there's any, of the major themes of One Piece that would apply here, it's that there's always room for redemption. I mean, God, look at how many villains have come around to be like these sort of goofy characters. If that is going to happen or not, I don't know, but there's definitely a very strong streak of that happening in One Piece. So it's a very optimistic manga in that sense.
What's next?
Reynard Not a Fox says, were any of you aware that yesterday, July 8th, was the 165th anniversary of the day that Commodore Perry sailed into Edo to force the Tokugawa shogunate into opening their ports to foreigners? Timing of this chapter's release to the 165th anniversary is too blatant to be a mere coincidence. Thoughts?
Commodore Perry?
Commodore Walter?
Commodore Perry, did you know that it's an anniversary?
Of what, Walter?
It's the anniversary of the day we met.
Oh
Oh my god!
my god! Everyone listening to this show hates us now.
Everyone hates us now.
Everyone's really gonna hate us now.
Everybody's still gonna hate us so much, but guess what, Perry?
Yes, Walter?
Commodore Perry, I love you.
I love you too,
Oh,
Commodore.
I love you. You love me.
Oh,
I
my
love me and I
God.
love you.
Oh, good. I was worried you didn't love me.
Next question.
Wow.
is-
Us and 4 other people enjoyed that joke. Stephen.
People got it when I drew McGurk as All Might, so hopefully they
Guys,
they know
it's on Hulu. It's free. Well, it's on Hulu.
Hulu.
Question for these people.
Hulu, sponsor us.
Yeah, come on, Hulu. Stephen, go
Ooh,
ahead.
please.
Jift has wants to gush briefly. I thought we were done with the adventure phase of One Piece, which saddened me because that was my favorite part. If this chapter is any indication, though, we will get at least one more arc that is a true Skypiea-esque adventure, and I couldn't be happier. On to my question, do you think the other Straw Hats we are missing are also going to try to blend into the Society of Wano? If so, what do you think their roles will be? I think Nami will 1000% be a ninja, for what it's worth.
Wow, that's a big percentage.
Nami?
A kunoichi.
To be fair, Brooke would probably be the best at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see.
Maybe you don't think Chopper's a yokai.
Chopper would
Or
dress as a
Tanuki.
Tanuki.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yo, wouldn't it be hysterical if Wano is the one place that no one refers to Chopper as a tanuki? They're just like, oh, a reindeer.
Oh my god.
That'd be perfect.
Cute
No, I
little
want that
reindeer.
to happen. Yeah, that's great. I love that.
He can't be a tanuki. I mean, where are his testicles?
They're in his hat.
Yeah, what was
Well,
that one
as we've
comment? He
determined-
needs to man up.
Yeah. Chopper lost his balls. Oh boy. All right, let's see. I'll take one more question here. Mensel STH says, I did the math, terribly hard equations, and found out that the last arc in which all the crew was together throughout was Whiskey Peak almost 800 chapters ago,
Oh
more
my
than
God.
700 episodes ago.
They
Either
were
way,
also
I thought-
asleep for most of it, if you recall.
Yes. They passed out. Either way, I thought this chapter was very nostalgically One Piece, an octopus showing up from nowhere, an upside-down waterfall, and giant animals fighting with katanas feels like the kind of things the crew were amazed by entering the Grand Line for the first time. This is adventurous craziness instead of the craziness we have seen since the New World. Only complaint was that the crab that bit Luffy's nose didn't also have a katana.
That would have been
Very nice.
fantastic.
What I mean, is there going to be a giant enemy crab in this arc?
Crap.
You destroy it for massive damage?
Crab battle.
Broke my knife.
And maybe
Citizen
there'll
crab,
be
son. No.
maybe there'll be some sort of competition, like some sort of like on like a cliff or a ridge, like a race, like Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer.
Is that it for
MSRP
Reddit?
Will be $600.
Yeah, we can move on from Reddit.
Okay, Ed, it's
Giant
time
enemy crab.
to...
Peace the tweet.
Wow, you're in it today, Ed. Let's get started.
Okay, the first one comes from Return to Sabaudi, who says, the baboon at the end of the chapter has some bruises on its face. Do you think it might have had an encounter with a member of the crew that was separated from Luffy? Maybe Sanji? I mean, it was just fighting the boar dog thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what was going on there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next one comes from... I mean, does
Sorry.
anyone else...
No, that's it.
Okay. Cough Set says, so what role does Crocodile have to play in this series now? When do you think we will see him again?
Who was it? Crocodile, you said?
What was he doing on that cover page last time we saw him?
Being
Or
an
was
absolute boss.
Yeah.
When he announces to the world that he is Luffy's mother and he's getting back with Dragon.
And then I want Jewelry Bonnie to step in. Now I'm Luffy's mom.
And the Queen of Sorbet Kingdom. Luffy's a prince. And then Luffy's going to be like, hey, I'm a prince. I'm a prince.
I think we're getting to the part of the podcast where you guys have the giggles the entire time.
No, I think that was when we did the Walter and Perry impressions.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, just let you know, Alex and Steve are back. We're back, baby.
What's next, Ed?
Next one comes from Nura G123, who says, if you could design a One Piece ride at Universal Studios, what would it be and what theme would it follow? And we are instructed to be creative,
And if
as
you're
opposed
not,
to how we usually are, I guess.
Well,
Is there-
guys,
Is there a
This
difference?
is-
But sorry, Steve, go ahead.
I'm sorry. This is a podcast in itself. If you've hung out with me at Disneyland, I think one of my favorite pastimes while waiting in line is coming up with ideas for a One Piece theme park. Subscribe to my Twitter.
we also did an
Wow.
episode on this where you named the episode after this question.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what's the difference between a Universal Studios
Disney.
ride and a Disneyland ride if we're going for One Piece themes?
One sits you in front of a TV screen, and the other one has animatronics.
Nice. Which one are you talking about? See,
What episode was this?
I think a
you
Back to the
hosted
Future
it.
style, Back to
Yeah.
the Future style ride, like
Oh.
going down to Fishman Island would be pretty
It
cool.
was called
that'd be
Soaring Over
awesome.
the Grand Line.
Yeah, soaring over the
Soaring-
ground. That was it.
It's me, Patrick Warburton.
Hey,
It's time to go on Reverse Mountain.
We definitely did the same joke also on that episode.
So allow me to open this up further. Why it doesn't have to be a ride? If it's Universal Studios, why not take the Rocket Man over to the pirating world of One Piece, where it's a whole separate fucking One Piece theme park?
They have that in Japan, Universal Studios. So
Well, shit.
yeah, it exists. To answer your question, and it's cool, and I went there, and I'm sure it's better now than when I was there 5 years ago. What's the next question, Ed?
All right. The next question comes from Yidden Tab F, who says, after reading this chapter, 4 things have become certain to me. 1. The Wano arc has started. 2. The Reverie will last the entirety of it. 3. The animal Luffy found will be an important character. 4. We will find out what happened at the Reverie in chapter 1000. The last one.
I could see us seeing Emu's face in chapter 1000. I think that would be a pretty cool reveal for that chapter,
Well,
which is not as far away as you think it is.
They ate the bird fruit model emu.
Oh,
Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-dum-bum. I think I am a huge fan of the theory that Reverie will last as long as the Wano arc.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning now. Now that we are definitely in Wano for good, that it's just going to be sort of ongoing, and he can pick and choose where he wants to like dole out the little updates from the Reverie whenever they're important.
Well, we're in an isolated kingdom, so I assume we're just going to get a ton of payoff for the Reverie at the end. It's just like, we're gonna like a huge cataclysmic world event could be happening while we're in Wano.
Well, what I'm saying is he could just take the camera away from Wano for 2 pages or whatever to show other stuff, and then go back to Wano.
Yeah, I feel like it's more likely that it's just going to be bookended with Reverie stuff, but that's also possible. Yeah,
right. Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this podcast. Ed.
Yeah. The next one comes from Steve Woodbury, who says, Tale of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, Volume 41, 3:45 p.m. Orlumbus takes a well-deserved crap.
How did I know that was coming?
Good
it starts to turtle a little bit, and that's how you know.
Okay. What's next?
Right. Ghost Starch says, I think Robin's plan is to access Kaido's poneglyph via the Shogun. She may be identified and captured in the process like Cat Viper was talking about in Zoe. This could be the setup for the Zoro versus Shogun fight to save Robin from becoming Kaido's slave. Actually, there's 2 assumptions there that I don't like. A, Robin's going to be taken captive again. I don't like that again. And also, the Shogun is necessarily a fighter. I mean,
we don't know.
It's more likely that the Shogun is not a fighter.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a big Zoro versus the Shogun fight doesn't seem like Zoro's direction in this arc to me.
Yeah, I think obviously it sounds like given Robin's role here that she's trying to play is going to be one of infiltration.
Yeah.
Right.
But to what means, who knows?
I mean, I'm still excited about a Robin rescue arc.
What's the next question?
Seeing as she is the most OP power in the whole fucking series, then yeah, I'm also in agreement.
Agree.
Next one comes from our very own Adil, who says, congrats to Jill on winning the Funimation photo op. And how do you guys feel about Luffy splitting up yet again? And finally, Octopus for Straw Hat.
I agree with at least 2 of the 3 of those. Well, one of them's a question.
Thanks, Adil.
But how do you guys feel about Luffy splitting up yet again? I think we've talked about it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Steve. It's a little annoying. It's been happening a lot.
It's a little annoying, but I think it's easier, especially on Oda's part, to have one character explore a little bit of Wano versus an entire crew.
If it's this or every character gets a speech bubble, every character has to get a word in. I prefer this.
If I may, this is more of like through an animation perspective, but I was working on an episode of one of my shows, and there was a lot of characters in these scenes. And I was so thankful to find out in the script that most of them were being killed off because I was getting sick and damn tired of drawing them all being present. So as much as I think, to me, I just get frustrated because I want to see these characters interact with each other again. Like I said, even this chapter is a great example. The banter we get between them is always entertaining. It was just frustrating. Like, oh, damn it. I want to see Zoro talk with Chopper again. But I understand why the main crew is huge. That's a lot of people to fit into a scene where you have to think about what every single one of them is doing. So I understand. I mean, yeah, I get frustrated, but it's not like I don't get where Oda's coming from.
And it creates an element of mystery because we don't actually know how they got split up, or well, we know how they got split up, but we don't know why they didn't why they don't have Luffy with them. And that creates something that will drive the plot forward because it's like, okay, well, what did happen to them? What are they doing right now? And that, that's a good kind of grease the gears to keep things moving and keep it interesting, rather than just having everything told to you to the entire crew, I guess. Yeah.
All right. Big thanks to One Piece Haiku for linking the Hokusai artwork in the piece, the tweet hashtag. Check that out there. And finally, last question is from Stacy Chen, who says, Will the crew find out there's an easier way to get to Wano, like what happened during Skypiea? And she also includes a picture of her graduation cap, which is the Thousand Sunny superimposed over the painting of the Great Wave. So very appropriate for this arc.
Yeah,
Nice.
this chapter.
Mhm.
But
is there an easier way to get to Wano? I mean, there's
I'm sure there is.
yeah.
The answer is
Like,
always yes. Yeah.
Like that still is so confusing to me. Like the fact, like, where is the water coming from to go up this hill and into the? I don't get it, and it's gonna bug me until they tell us how it happened.
It's a mystery, Ed. It's a mystery. So that's gonna do it for Piece Together. And who knows how this segment's gonna end? I don't really know.
Honk honk.
This has been the One Piece Podcast, episode 527. Let's go around the horn. Steve, where can people find you?
Please follow me on social media like Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. It's Steve Yurko. It's all one word, easy to find. Thank you to everyone that came to my table at Anime Expo. You guys are awesome. The con went super well, and it's thanks to you guys. I know there's a lot of listeners that pop by, so thank you all. I think I'm going to San Diego Comic-Con. I'm going just to go. If you happen to be there and you see me, please talk to me. Steven, are you going?
Yeah.
Yay! I get to see Steven, hopefully. It's kind of like in the rough stages of planning, but
Okay.
Looks like I might be attending, so it'll be cool. Steven and Steven.
Nice.
Anything else? I will be at Crunchyroll Expo as well. I'll be tabling there too. I don't know if anyone in the San Jose area listens to us and will be hitting up that convention, but I'll be there as well. And that's really it. Thank you. And also just want to give a shout out because we did in the AX discussion. Big thanks to Justin and everyone at Viz for setting up the puzzle hunt for us. It was a lot of fun, and it's all thanks to them. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. Steve's going to run away. Jill.
Yeah, you can reach me on Twitter at PyroTestUnlock. And I also had a great time at Anime Expo. I'm glad that people seem to enjoy my Big Mom costume. Thank you so much to Funimation for letting me win the treasure chest. It was really fun. And thank you so much to Justin and everyone at Viz that did the puzzle hunt with us. We had a really good time.
Steven.
Yes, you may follow me on Twitter at Translatosaurus. As briefly mentioned, I will also be at San Diego Comic-Con, which is coming up. Gosh, is that next weekend? Oh boy. I will have my Lost in Translation panel. I believe that is on Thursday night. I will post some more details about that. I'm sure I'll mention it next week on the podcast as well if you're interested and you are attending SDCC this year.
And Stephen, I just want to commend you on there was a particular translation from the Color Walk Compendium that I enjoyed. I shared it on Twitter, which I think was the acknowledgement from Color Walk Eagle, Color Walk 3, talking about
Lion.
Oda. Yeah, Lion. Yeah, Lion. Right.
Eel?
Eagle was...
Color Walk Eel is number 9. That has
No,
not come out.
Eagle is number 4. Lion.
Eagle.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was the acknowledgement where he was talking about like just being appreciative and stuff. I thought it was very, very well done.
Oh,
you should
yeah.
buy that book.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you say it like Jay Sherman?
Buy my book.
Alex.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Tumblr. Jesus, I haven't logged in at Tumblr in a while. You can go there if you want. Twitter and Instagram at dude ! All one word. Check out Toho Yaro, the Japanese Film Club podcast that I do with Joey Weiser and Scott Dryman. Our latest episode is Truck Yaro 5, Trucksters of Guts. It's an awesome and hilarious movie. Try to find it and listen to the episode. And you can find us at Toho Yaro on Twitter.
Maddie, if you'd like to let people know where they could find you. By the way, the episode images for last week and this week are amazing. And if you want to see all the alternative images, check it out at patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast. But Maddie, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at the letter O, that's Raspberry. And you can also find me on Patreon at patreon.com/OH, that's Raspberry.
Thank you, Maddie. Support her, and thanks for all your hard work. Ed, where could the good people out there find us?
Well, you're Zach_Logan on Twitter. I am Edward E. One Piece. The podcast can be found at onepiecepodcast.com, twitter.com, youtube.com, and facebook.com/onepiecepodcast. One Piece Podcast is our Skype name. onepiecepodcast@gmail.com is our email address. Our subreddit is r/onepiecepodcast. You can leave us some piece together there. You can subscribe on SoundCloud. You can subscribe on Google Play. Subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts, or call us on our phone number. Zach?
Ed, that phone number is 347-497-MAJI.
Maji.
That phone number again is 347-497-6254. Call anytime.
Anytime.
With the best of your grandpas and the blurst of your grandpas. Good episode today. Before we leave, as usual, we have a little bit of trivia. Maddie, are you going to take part in this? I won't force you like last time.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I'm drawing right now. Sorry.
Zach, I was talking with Kelly about your trivia things, and we talk about how every time we forget it happens, then we just get major anxiety at the end of every podcast.
Perfect.
We're like, oh god.
I'm here to help the anxiety medication industry. So sponsored by Pfizer.
Wow.
Man, if only we would have.
That's a good sponsorship.
You did well this week.
State Farm, Pfizer, Hulu. Come on, someone.
And Farmers Insurance also. One of you guys. Okay, so today's trivia are animal related because we had a lot of animals in today's chapter. So today we're going to try and name the animals from Sky Island. This is the order we got today. It's going to be Alex, Steven, Jill, and Ed. Okay, ready to go?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Alex. Yep.
Sky Shark.
Yep. Steven?
Sky Fox.
Yeah. Cloud Fox is also acceptable.
Cloud Fox. Okay. There you go.
I mean, I'll take it. It's okay.
You know what I mean.
Jill.
I don't know the technical term. Those wolves?
What would you call them?
Sky wolves?
Sure. Cloud Wolf, Sky. I'm going to take all the cloud, I'll take Sky. It's really the same thing.
I would have said dancing treasure wolves.
Right?
Or dancing with wolves. Who are we up to here? Alex.
I guess, Southbird.
Yep. Specifically.
What?
I'll let you be a little more specific there. On Sky Island.
Oh, I guess a Shandian Southbird.
Sure, I'll take it. Giant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're
Okay.
very large there.
Sure.
Steven.
A giant serpent.
Python.
Has a
no
name,
love.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that'll be a good tiebreaker. Where are we up to? Jill.
Pierre?
Yeah, do you know what kind? I'll take that, but do you know what kind of animal Pierre is?
A sky bird that ate a horse fruit?
Yep, you're good. Sky Dot Bird is what I got.
Okay.
Ed.
Inflatable hot air balloon octopus.
Octoballoon. I'll take it though.
Sure.
I'm being very generous here today. Alex. Only a couple left.
This isn't cheating. A Northbird.
So I was thinking of whether to write those down, but it was never explicitly said those were on Sky Island, was it? In that cover story, were those on Jaya or Sky Island?
I think this is an SBS thing.
No, it was in a cover page, I think.
Oh yeah. It's a Decks of the World thing.
Yeah, but I'm not sure where they were shown. I think they were in Jaya though. So I can't take that, Alex.
Oh. Does that mean I lost?
That means you're out. Steven.
Okay, I'm trying to guess what the exact term was. I want to say it was like a Sanju Cho or something like that. It's the giant bird that Shura rides.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Shura rides. Do you remember the name of him? Is it Fusa? Fusa? Is that his name?
Fusa, yeah, something like that.
Three-length bird is what it was called on One Piece Wiki.
Bird.
So
yeah.
I'll take that. Where are we here? Jill, you're still in.
Holy the Sky Dog.
Oh, I didn't even have that here. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that counts.
that definitely counts. Yeah. Where are we here, Ed?
The Express Shrimp.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh fuck.
So okay.
Are we out?
No.
More?
You're good. You're good. There's more. There are
Oh god.
3 more. And we're getting to the really hard stuff here. That was Ed, right? Who just went?
Yeah, that was
so this is the last round, probably. Steven.
Oh man.
If you also name the other giant python, I will count that as a separate animal.
Oh come on! They're the same species.
What, the first one didn't live on Sky Island. It lived on
Oh,
Giant.
that's true. You know
Yeah.
what? Never mind.
Yeah.
Ed is,
It was killed.
Ed is right by technicality.
Yeah.
That's kind of correct.
Oh man.
Okay, I think that's gonna be it.
Yeah, I can't.
Jill.
was there a sky eel or was that like a
Yeah,
acid dream?
I'll take it. Yeah,
God.
sky lamprey.
There we go.
Oh, those weird looking things.
Yeah, I'll count that though. I think that's Ed. That means you need to get this one to stay in the game. One is
Wasn't
really
there also
easy.
a super express shrimp?
You are correct. There is one more I have here. Jill, you get first dibs.
Oh Jesus.
It's so simple. You'll be
But I know
angry
what
when you
the fuck
don't
it
get
is.
Chopper. The reindeer.
it. No. Ed, can you get it?
Is there a giant beetle that scares someone?
No.
I know what it is. I
That's
know what it
Alex.
is. It's a fucking skyfish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of
Oh.
course.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a tiebreaker, let's do this. Jill gets first dibs since she's first here. The name of the giant python that was that Nolan killed. 3 seconds. 0 seconds. Ed.
Noland.
No.
No.
Alex, can you get it?
Nola.
No. The name of the one that he killed.
Oh, well, I'm bad at ideas.
It's like
God?
God,
Is
or
it just
something,
God?
right?
It's
It
Kashi.
was
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, Kashigami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm out of tiebreakers.
There's 2 winners then.
Okay, okay, let's do this. Jill.
Rock, paper, scissors.
No, the four priests.
Oh,
Jill.
come on. So easy.
I'm actually real bad at that. I don't.
Can you name
Just give
any
it
of
to
the
Ed.
4? Can you name any?
Try. Come on.
No.
None of the 4.
Satori.
One of those
I'm
was
done.
correct.
I don't care.
Okay, Ed, can you name the 4?
What? All 4 of them? There were 3.
Name
remaining?
any of them.
Gadatsu, yeah.
Okay, there we go. We're done. Ed will be getting a taiyaki in the mail.
Yeah.
That's our new
That's what
prize.
it's for now.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming on the show. Next week we will be back with chapter 9-11. We will also be back with a double anime recap and piece together and a lot more as per usual. We will see you then, everyone. My name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
My name is Alex.
See you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Honk honk.
We have corn dogs.
That's farmers. It's a different thing.